The universe is full of wonders. Galaxies collide, stars explode in magnificent displays of cosmic power. But there are also dangers lurking in the vastness of space, hidden in the shadows of the unknown. Some of these threats are closer than we think, right here on our own planet. Bioterrorism is one of these threats, a silent and deadly menace that can strike without warning. It involves the deliberate release of viruses, bacteria, or other germs to cause illness or death in people, animals, or plants. These germs can cause widespread disease and death, overwhelming healthcare systems and causing panic. Invisible to the naked eye, these pathogens can spread silently and swiftly, making them a formidable enemy. This makes them a silent and insidious enemy, capable of bringing entire cities to a standstill. Bioterrorism has been a threat throughout human history, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. From ancient times to the modern era, people have used biological agents to harm others, often with catastrophic results. The Black Death, which ravaged Europe in the 14th century, is a chilling example of the power of disease. The plague, spread by fleas on rats, killed millions and changed the course of history. While not intentional, it showed the devastating power of disease and the vulnerability of human populations. Today we face even greater risks as our world becomes more interconnected and advanced. Advances in biotechnology have made it easier to produce and weaponize biological agents, increasing the potential for bioterrorism. This poses a significant threat to global health security, requiring vigilance and preparedness on an international scale. We must understand this threat in all its complexity and take proactive measures to counter it. We must also work together, across borders and disciplines, to prevent it and protect our future. Our future depends on it, and the actions we take today will determine the safety and well-being of generations to come. The use of biological weapons is not new. It has roots that stretch back through the annals of history. It has existed for centuries, evolving in methods and impact over time. In the Middle Ages, armies would catapult plague-infected corpses over city walls, a tactic designed to spread disease and terror. This was a crude but effective form of biological warfare, leveraging the fear and lethality of the plague. It spread fear and disease among the enemy, often leading to chaos and a breakdown of morale. Another example is the siege of Fort Pitt in 1763, during the French and Indian War. British forces gave blankets infected with smallpox to Native Americans, a calculated move to spread the deadly disease. This was a deliberate attempt to weaken their enemy, using disease as a weapon of war. The result was a devastating smallpox outbreak among the Native American tribes, causing immense suffering and loss of life. These historical examples highlight the cruelty and devastating impact of biowarfare, showing how it has been used to gain strategic advantages. They also serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of using disease as a weapon, urging us to reflect on the ethical implications and the need for vigilance in preventing such tactics in the future. The 20th century saw significant advances in biology, with scientists making groundbreaking discoveries that would change the world forever. This led to the development of more sophisticated bioweapons, as researchers began to understand the potential of using biological agents as weapons. Nations around the globe started to research and stockpile deadly pathogens, preparing for the possibility of biological warfare. These stockpiles included some of the most dangerous substances known to man, such as anthrax, smallpox, and botulinum toxin, each capable of causing mass casualties. The goal was to create weapons of mass destruction that could be used to gain a strategic advantage in conflicts. The threat of bioterrorism became very real in 1984, when a shocking event unfolded in Oregon. A religious cult in Oregon contaminated salad bars with salmonella in an attempt to influence a local election. This attack sickened over 750 people, causing widespread illness and panic in the community. It showed the vulnerability of civilian populations to bioterrorism, highlighting the ease with which such attacks could be carried out. Then in 2001, letters laced with anthrax spores were mailed to media outlets and government offices in the United States in a chilling act of bioterrorism. The anthrax attacks killed 5 people and caused widespread fear, as the nation grappled with the reality of this new threat. The event highlighted the potential for bioterrorism to cause panic and disrupt society, showing just how unprepared we were for such an attack. Bioterrorism relies on turning natural biological agents into weapons. This process involves several steps. First, the pathogen must be acquired. This could be from nature or from a laboratory. Next, the pathogen must be cultured and grown in large quantities. Once a sufficient quantity is produced, the pathogen needs to be weaponized. This means making it suitable for dispersal. The method of dispersal depends on the pathogen and the desired effect. It could be through aerosols, powders, or contamination of food or water supplies. The final step is delivery. This is just as crucial as the other steps. The effectiveness of a bioweapon depends on its successful delivery to the target population. Section 5. Delivery Systems: The Silent Spread. The method of delivering a biological weapon is crucial to its effectiveness. The goal is to infect as many people as possible. Aerosols are a common delivery method. They involve releasing the pathogen into the air as fine particles. These particles can then be inhaled by people in the vicinity. Another method is contamination of food or water supplies. This can lead to widespread outbreaks of disease. The delivery system used depends on the pathogen, the target, and the desired impact. Section 6. The impact: more than just casualties. Bioterrorism can have devastating consequences. The most immediate impact is illness and death. The severity depends on the pathogen, the amount released, and the effectiveness of the public health response. However, the impact of bioterrorism extends far beyond casualties. An attack can overwhelm healthcare systems. Hospitals and clinics can quickly become overwhelmed with patients. This can lead to shortages of beds, medicine, and medical personnel. It can also disrupt the treatment of other illnesses. Section 7. The psychological scars: fear and uncertainty. The invisible nature of bioweapons creates a climate of fear and uncertainty. The possibility of an attack can lead to mass panic and social disruption. People may avoid public places, they may hoard food and supplies. This can lead to economic instability. The psychological impact of bioterrorism can be as damaging as the physical effects. The constant fear of an attack can lead to stress, anxiety, and social isolation. These effects can linger long after the initial attack. Section 8. The future of terror: emerging threats and technological advancements. The threat of bioterrorism is constantly evolving. Advances in biotechnology are making it easier to create and modify pathogens. This raises concerns about the potential for bioweapons that are more resistant to treatment or more easily spread. Another concern is the rise of synthetic biology. This field allows scientists to create artificial organisms from scratch. While this technology has enormous potential for good, it could also be used to create novel bioweapons. Section 9. Global biosecurity: a shared responsibility. Preventing bioterrorism is a global challenge. It requires international cooperation and collaboration. Countries must work together to strengthen global biosecurity norms. They must also improve disease surveillance and response capabilities. The World Health Organization, or WHO, plays a crucial role in coordinating international efforts. They provide guidance on biosafety and biosecurity. They also assist countries in developing their capacity to respond to outbreaks. Section 10. Combating bioterrorism: preparedness, detection, and response. Protecting against bioterrorism requires a multifaceted approach. This includes preparedness, detection, and response. Preparedness involves developing plans for dealing with a bioterrorist attack. This includes stockpiling vaccines and antidotes, training healthcare workers, and educating the public. Early detection is crucial. Rapid and accurate identification of the pathogen can help contain the spread of disease. It can also guide treatment decisions. Response involves providing medical care to those affected. It also includes decontaminating affected areas and implementing measures to prevent further spread. Section 11. Conclusion: staying ahead of the curve. Bioterrorism is a real and present danger. The threat is constantly evolving. We must remain vigilant. We must strengthen our defenses. This includes investing in research, improving surveillance, and enhancing our response capabilities. But most importantly, we must work together. Global cooperation is essential to combat this invisible enemy. By understanding the threat and taking appropriate measures, we can mitigate the risks and protect ourselves from this silent and deadly danger.